Hi guys, it's Chris calling. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. If you guys have returned since my last video, thank you very much. And if you guys are new here, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. So of course, Eurovision 2024 has come to an end and everyone's having a little bit of downtime now. I think we all need it after what was an absolutely incredible but crazy week. Next year's Eurovision Song Contest in 2025 will be heading to Switzerland after Nemo's incredible win this year in Malmö. And the host city bidding phase has already begun. There are a wide variety of cities in Switzerland already thinking of putting their bids towards hosting next year's contest. So I thought we'd go through the list of cities so far and see which ones have what it takes to host in 2025. I remember last year in 2023 when the UK hosted on behalf of Ukraine, the bidding phase was so exciting. There were around 7 cities in the UK hoping to host the contest, all putting their bids forward. It was a super exciting time. So I can only imagine that people in Switzerland are feeling just as excited as I was. So yeah, without wasting any more time, let's go through some of the candidate cities for Eurovision 2025. Let's go! So today is Saturday the 15th of June, and to date there are currently 4 cities who are thinking of putting bids in for next year's contest. So our first contender is Geneva, okay? So this is the French-speaking part of Switzerland, known for its international diplomacy and stunning lakeside scenery. It offers a cosmopolitan flair that aligns perfectly with the multicultural spirit of Eurovision. If Geneva ends up hosting, they would be using the Palexpo Convention Centre to hold the shows in, and from what I've read, it's got a capacity of around 9,500 people. So I think that's kind of usual to the kind of audiences that we get in a Eurovision venue. And also this convention centre as well, it wouldn't just be holding the shows, it would be holding the press centre, the delegation bubble, and it seems like it would be all in one place, which would be a really good atmosphere, I think, for Eurovision 2025. I know that the Palexpo kind of convention area is closer to Geneva Airport, so whether they can make some good links between that area and the city centre of Geneva so that it's easy to get back into from the Euro clubs as well, I'm sure that's something that they would be considering and putting towards their bid. But overall, I think that Geneva are making a really good case just by reading this for next year's contest. Geneva's bid emphasises its experience in hosting large-scale international events and its commitment to sustainability and innovation. So that's something really important when hosting Eurovision and bidding to host the contest. I'm pretty sure Malmö 2024 won an award for kind of sustainability. Sustainability and giving back to the environment is definitely something candidate cities who are wanting to host the contest really want to be considering in order to be in the running. I think the sound of a convention centre is really good. You've got kind of not just an arena on its own, but lots of kind of huge spaces that are all linked in one building, making it easy for artists, press and fans to get around. But then on from Geneva, we move on to another candidate city, and this is Basel. Basel is actually on the banks of the River Rhine, which is a beautiful place. I've been to a couple of places in Germany where the River Rhine is, and the scenery is just incredible. So I really think that it would be a beautiful host city, Basel, to host the contest next year. So looking at the arena side of things, so the arena that Basel will be putting forward is the Jakobshalle Arena, which has previously hosted major sporting and entertainment events. So they've had loads of big stars already perform there, and it's ready to go, a bit like the Malmö Arena was. There's not a lot of kind of changing and kind of infrastructure and construction that they need to do to host the contest. It would just be a case of, you know, the TV cameras and of course that Eurovision stage. And from reading up on Basel's bid, their kind of highlights show that Basel is a rich musical heritage and an enthusiastic support of its residents as well. So it seems like a lot of people living in Basel would want Eurovision to come to the city. But if you're from Basel and watching this, how do you feel about the prospects of Eurovision coming to your city? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so moving on from Basel, we have a bit of a twist now, and this is a consideration of a joint bid. I don't think this has ever happened in Eurovision history, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've got a joint bid from Biel and Bern. So Bern, of course, is the capital city of Switzerland. And in an interesting twist, these two different places are thinking of joining forces to host the contest together. So on one side of the bid, we've got Biel, which is just north of Bern. And they're very keen for this joint bid because it's actually Nemo's hometown, of course, the winner of this year's Eurovision. So that would be really, really special for Nemo to come back to Eurovision after winning it and having it in their hometown. That would just be absolutely unbelievable. Reading up on Biel and Bern's bid. So this unique proposition aims to leverage the strengths of both cities to create an unparalleled Eurovision experience. Wow. So Biel, known for its bilingual culture and watchmaking industry, would bring a distinctive flavour to the contest. Coupled with Bern, the Swiss capital with its historic old town and political significance, the joint bid could offer a diverse and enriching experience for attendees. I really, really like the sound of this, guys. I know kind of like the idea of there being two cities. I mean, traveling back and to, it can be quite difficult sometimes, but to be fair, I stayed in Copenhagen for this year's Eurovision and commuted on the Øresund train back and to. And I thought it wasn't a problem at all. I thought it was super efficient and quite cost effective. It was actually cheaper to stay in Copenhagen. Yeah, let me know. What are the connections like between Biel and Bern? And do you think that they would kind of up that for Eurovision to make sure that they're more connected? I think it's definitely an interesting take. I know there's positives of Eurovision being in one place and it being that main Eurovision bubble. But let me know, would you like to see a joint bid from Biel and Bern to be in the running for hosting Eurovision 2025? And hot off the press, we now have what is most likely a confirmed bid from Zurich. Zurich is one of the biggest cities in Switzerland. It's an economic powerhouse and one of the main cities in Switzerland. Most of you would have seen that postcard picture of the river and the clock tower. It just looks absolutely stunning, and it just looks like a perfect Eurovision host city to me. So looking at Zurich's bid, the Zurich City Parliament has passed two motions regarding its potential Eurovision 2025 candidacy. Now the Zurich City Council must evaluate and examine these bids. The city of Zurich is keen to host the upcoming Eurovision Song Contest in Switzerland. Amazing. So we've got more to the competition now. This is super exciting, guys. Like I say, I know how exciting this was when UK was hosting on behalf of Ukraine. So I can only imagine how excited people in Switzerland must be at the prospect of this coming to their country. So the most likely venue in Zurich for hosting Eurovision will be the Hallenstadion. So the Hallenstadion can actually accommodate 12,000 spectators. So more than the usual Eurovision arena, if you ask me. And looking at the arena, it looks absolutely stunning. It's modern, it's fresh, and it looks like it's ready to host that contest. Zurich has an incredible airport with excellent international connections, a fabulous transport network, and great hotel room capacity, and the required logistics and infrastructure to host the event. So far, Zurich sounds like the one that has kind of passed all the steps in terms of having all the infrastructure and everything you need to meet those Eurovision demands of having a chance to host. So we will just have to see, but Zurich definitely seems like one of the front runners right now, and I would absolutely love it to be in Zurich next year. It just looks absolutely beautiful. And then on a slightly sadder note, we had one dropout candidate city, and this was St. Gallen. So initially when Nemo won the contest, they were one of the first cities expressing their interest of hosting next year's contest. And I always think it's super exciting when other places than the country's capital city bid to host, because it allows people to get more of an insight of the other places in the country. Like, I'd never heard of St. Gallen before this bidding phase in Switzerland. And just again, looking at it, all of the candidate cities look absolutely stunning in Switzerland. I can't wait to go there next year for the first time. And I'm sure that Switzerland will be an absolutely incredible host. But yeah, sadly, it was recently revealed that St. Gallen will not be pursuing their bid for next year's contest. And just looking at the region, it's decided not to submit the bid after studying all the requirements set by the Swiss broadcaster who will be hosting next year's event along with the EBU, SSR, SRG. Due to the extensive and demanding conditions formulated in the Eurovision 2025 host city tender for the city of St. Gallen, will not submit the bid. Yeah, it's sad. Like I say, I think good on St. Gallen for expressing their interest anyway. It's like I say, it's given them good promotion just by putting forward this bid. But I truly hope this short-lived bid from St. Gallen kind of gives a little boost in tourism for the city, because it looks absolutely stunning. So there we have it, guys. We have 4 cities who are all hoping to host next year's contest, or at least put in a bid for Eurovision 2025, but there can only be one winner. So we will just have to see who comes out on top. From what I've been reading, the EBU along with the Swiss broadcaster really want to have a host city by the end of summer. So I imagine the bidding phase will take place now, and just reading up on the bidding process once again. So the Eurovision 2025 host city submission deadline has been set for the end of June, so that's not long away. Right now it's looking like a 4-horse race, but like I say, there can only be one winner. So who's going to take it? I think in my mind, if I had to narrow it down to 2, it would be Geneva and Zurich. I think both cities offer something completely different, but at the same time could put on a real spectacle for Eurovision 2025. But there we have it, guys. That's just what I thought. I want to know what you guys think. What do you think of the Eurovision 2025 candidate host cities? Which Swiss city do you think has what it takes to host next year's contest? We have Geneva, we have Basel, we have Zurich, and we have a joint bid from Biel and Bern. So guys, let me know in the comments below who you think will win this host city race. As always, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And I will really look forward to seeing you all next time. Bye, guys.